Hola, ¿cómo están? And what is going on, guys? DarkScheme here. I'm bringing you some info on one of the new maps called Tyrant and the new update coming later in April. But before we get into that, I also wanted to quickly point out that I'm playing a different variant of Warzone. For this weekend, 343 has decided to release a variation of Warzone called Warzone Turbo. So it does sound like it is. You start off the game by capturing your base. Once you capture your base, your rec levels will slowly but surely climb all the way to rec level 9, and you will be able to use rec level 9s at the very start of the game, and your rec energy also refills just as fast. So you'll be able to buy and try out so many different combinations of rec items. It's very chaotic, it's a ton of fun. At the same time, I can't help but feel that everybody kind of saved up their rec items, because I've been seeing a lot of Banshees. A little annoying at first, but once you start getting out your Spartan lasers, I believe it can be a little bit more bearable. But jumping right into the info on this new map, the new arena map that we are getting in next month's update is called Tyrant. And Tyrant is described as a small-scale symmetrical map that was made for Capture the Flag and Assault game types. Now for the description, it really kind of sounds like Coliseum, and for the most part the map aesthetic feels like it is similar to Coliseum. It has that Promethean feel to it as we take a look at the first image. It's going to be very interesting, as with a few of these images I can't really connect the map just yet. Maybe if we got a little bit more of an overhead view, but it is looking like it's going to be a mix of both rock terrain and Promethean aesthetics. And it's looking to be a little reminiscent of Haven. Maybe not to the extreme of it, but definitely has that little bit of feel. And it's looking like it does have a gravity well down where Scattershot is. And ultimately, I hope for the best for this map. As I've said before, past arena maps that we've gotten through DLC have not been the best. At least not in the community's eyes. And for the most part, they kind of play a little different. Definitely need some tweaks and fixes. So hopefully they've done a little bit more thorough testing on Tyrant so far. Seeing as we will see the sniper, I'm hoping to get a little bit more variety out of it. And also wondering how these will play out. Maybe this is the map that we need to get Assault playing as it should. At the moment, and I've talked about this before as well, Assault is a little bit lacking. And I feel like that's just because it needs a little more testing, a little more polish to it, change things here and there. And of course, we also need to understand the Assault game type in Halo 5 as well. Halo 5 Assault is completely different than Halo 3 or even Halo 2 Anniversary. So we'll have to get adjusted to that. Hopefully we can get a little bit more testing, some feedback on that, and get that working up to speed. And once again, going back to this corridor image, it seems like there is going to be an outside portion of the map which there will be some sort of engagement out of it, but because there's so many corridors, it seems like there's going to be a lot of hallway warfare. Personally, one of the things that I felt Overgrowth was too much of, but that is just looking at these images. Again, I can't really put the map together from these images. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information and we'll see how this map plays out when it does come out. And of course, we got a few more images for the skirmish at Darkstar Warzone map. Taking a look at this, it's looking like there's a ton of roadways for vehicles to be using. And we're taking a look at one side of the bases. Clearly, this little pad down below is where one of the bosses should be spawning in. If we're looking at how close each base is, it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a small scale map. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that there will be more engagements, more chaotic gameplay. And overall chaotic gameplay is what I believe Halo 5 thrives on. When there's just so much going on, Warzone will be there to give the game a ton of variety and a ton of fun. If we're taking a look a little bit closer at one of these images, it's looking like there's also a tunnel system in which you can go under the bases. So I'm actually wondering what that looks like inside and if they will be viable to take routes under. And because there are lower levels to this map, it'll actually make the map feel 2 times bigger, as there's a bunch of these corridors. And it actually really interests me and to see what this map will bring to Warzone. And looking at the scale of things, it seems pretty small, But once again, we don't really have anything to kind of put things together to see how large these objects are. Definitely one of the maps where I think it'll look small, but once you hop into it, it'll be a lot bigger than we first thought. But that is pretty much it for me today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit more in-depth look at the new arena map Tyrant and a little bit of a look at the new Warzone map Skirmish at Darkstar. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Once again, I hope the arena map ends up playing a lot better than maps we've gotten in the past. And for Skirmish at Darkstar, hopefully we get a good variety of both vehicle and on-foot Spartan warfare. But I'll leave you guys with that. And as always, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time.